Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm sharing with you all of my Sephora Spring Savings Event recommendations. The Sephora Spring Savings Event is starting on April the 14th at midnight for Rouge members, and of course Rouge members get a 20% off anything they buy, and it'll last all the way up to the 24th, and during those 10 days you can place as many orders as you want and get your 20% off. And then I like that this year they didn't stack VIB and Beauty Insiders on different dates. Both VIBs and Beauty Insiders can shop on the 18th at midnight. VIBs get a 15% off of anything they want, and Beauty Insiders get a 10% off of anything they want. Now from the 14th to the 24th, the whole time the sale is going on, Sephora collection is going to be 30% off for everyone. I have a lot of products to share with you. I tried to minimize my recommendations, but we still have a lot going on here. So if you're excited, give this video a thumbs up and let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so the way I'm going to do this is dividing it by categories the way I usually do, and of course I have the list of every single product I'm about to mention down below in the description box with the links. Whenever you shop from my links, you are helping out my channel, so it would be greatly appreciated if you checked out the description box for any products that you're interested and shop for those products using my links. I'm going to start with haircare. I have a couple of fragrances to recommend, then I'll go into skincare, and then we'll get to the biggest section of this video, which is of course the makeup recommendation. Now I do have one more thing to say before we get started. Refer is also having a restock and a 40% off sale at the same time as the Sephora sale is going on. If you don't want to hear it, just skip to this time right here on the screen. You guys know Refer is my favorite brand of brushes. They make Japanese handcrafted natural brushes, and they're the best brushes to apply your makeup with and to blend it with. So I'm going to give you some suggestions on my favorite Refer brushes, and I'm going to give you those suggestions in the order of importance. So the most important brushes that I suggest the most are going to be the first ones, and then if you already have those but you want to add more, then grab the ones that I'm mentioning afterwards. I hope that makes sense. The most important brush from Refer for me is the Refer number 15. This one is the most amazing brush at blending the eyeshadow on the crease of the eye. Then I also really love Refer's number 1 brush, which is this more pinched blending brush right here, and this one works great at adding product to the outer corner and blending it into your crease color. Refer number 28 brush is a great flat brush to press shimmers on the center of the eyelid, and the number 13 is my favorite blending brush for the under eye area. Those for me are the absolute must-haves. Then we have the Refer number 3, which is an amazing smudger brush. The Refer number 14, which is an incredible detail blending brush. You can use it on top or underneath. It's a true multitasker. And then the other 3 that I reach for a whole lot are 21, 23, and 26. Now onto the face brushes, and my most recommended best face brush ever from Refer is the Refer number 5. In fact, I would order 2 of this one, not 1. I have one that I always use for my blush and another one that I always use for my bronzer. This is the best brush at blending out any powder product on your face. This is a must-have. I also really love the Refer number 36 brush to apply concealer or color corrector underneath the eye. This is technically an eye brush, but I put it on the face section because I use it for underneath my eyes only. I'm not a huge fan of really big brushes for the face, but I do really love me a detailed powder brush, and this number 37 is amazing if you want to have a lot of control over where you're blending your contour powder or bronzer powder. I love Refer's number 18 to set the under eyes and apply powder to the center of the face. And last but not least, the number 31 is a stippling brush, which is amazing to blend out any type of cream product that you might apply to your face. I highly recommend that you shop the Refer sale. It's going to be the first link down below in the description box. They have amazing brushes. They've been sold out since December, and it might totally happen again, so I wouldn't recommend waiting. I would recommend just shopping right now if you can. Now let's start talking about the Sephora sale and my hair product recommendations. I am going to start with some styling products that I cannot live without, and the first one and the most important for me is this right here. This is the Color Wow Extra Large Bombshell Volumizer. This is a foamy product that you apply on the hair before you dry it down, and it's going to help your curls last. My hair has a very difficult time holding a curl, and this is the product that makes it happen for me, along with my Dyson Airwrap, and it gives me super bouncy curls. It's so dark, I don't think you can see it, but it gives me super bouncy curls that truly last all day, and it is all thanks to this product. I wet my hair before I dry it with my curling attachment on my Dyson, and then I apply 3 to 4 pumps of this to like a section of hair, and then I dry it, and it truly helps the curls stay amazingly. Plus you can use it on the root of your hair before you blow dry it for the most amazing volume. Definitely check this one out. I'm horrible at doing my hair, but this makes things a lot easier for me. Another Color Wow product I finally learned how to use is this right here. This is the Wow Dream Coat. You generously apply this one on every strand before you blow dry it using heat, and it coats your hair with something that basically makes all of the frizz of your hair go away. If you want it to last even longer, my cousin who does hair recommended that I did this. After you blow dry it that first time, flat iron the hair. And the magical thing isn't just that it takes the frizz away that first time. The magical thing is that you can wash your hair 3 to 4 times after you do this treatment, and every time just blow drying it, it'll look like you flat ironed your hair. That's the way it works for me, at least, and I love it. So after I do the treatment and my hair gets dirty and I wash it again, I just have to blow dry it really quickly, and it truly looks like I flat ironed it. All of the frizz completely goes away, so I love it. Third and last styling product is this right here. This is the Verb Ghost Oil. I used very little of this, kind of work it into my hands, and then I work it through my dry hair, and it gives the hair the most amazing shine without weighing it down. This has been a favorite product of mine forever because I love shiny, healthy looking hair, so highly recommend this one. Another hair product I recommend is the Dyson Airwrap. This one comes with a lot of different attachments. I mainly use the curling one and this one here for when I blow dry my hair, but it also has attachments for straightening the hair. Now I know this is a pretty penny, but this product truly works. I love styling my hair with this one, so I highly recommend getting it at Sephora, especially if you're a VIB or a Rouge, and you can get it with a 15 or a 20% off discount. Now there is a product that I have not tried, but I wanted to kind of make you aware of. The shark dupe for this product, I'm going to just put a picture right here, is now available at Sephora. The Dyson, $600. This shark dupe right here is $300, so half the price. I personally have not tried this product, but I have heard nothing but amazing things about it on the internet. So this would definitely be something that I would look into if you're interested in a Dyson, because it is half the price basically. They have a kit for dry to wavy hair and another kit for curly and coily hair, and I really love that they thought of dividing it like that, and each kit is $299, so $300. Now if you want every single attachment, they also have this shark kit right here that has every single attachment for $349, which is still not bad, only $50 more, and you get every single attachment that this shark thing has. Again, I would highly recommend you look into it because it is half the price of the Dyson Airwrap, and from what I've seen online, you get the exact same results. Last but not least, when it comes to the hair section, if you're looking for a new flat iron, I highly recommend this one. This is the best flat iron I have ever had. It is lightweight, it heats up in literal seconds, like 12 seconds, something crazy. Maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe it's like 30 seconds or something like that, but it heats up so freaking fast. Also, if you're into the aesthetic of things, this is the most beautiful flat iron you will ever have, and it is called the single pass for a reason. You literally just go once and your hair is silky and smooth and super straight, so I love this thing. Moving on to a couple of fragrances I want to recommend to you. I have a lot of fragrances that I love, but I decided I just wanted to share the ones that have been my true go-tos this past few months, the ones that I cannot put down, that I look forward to spraying on me all the time, and that are newer on the market. So first things first, this one here, the Prada Paradox. I bought this one during the last VIB sale and I love it. I restrain myself from using this one all the time because I want it to last me a long time and I don't want to waste it. And this smells so good. It's like a fresh, crisp flowery scent with a really nice sexy undertone to it. This one isn't overly sweet, but it still smells really girly, really flowery. Like I said, a bit on the crisp side, but it still has this really nice potent like base to it. The keynotes are neroli bud, which definitely is what gives it that crisp flowery scent, white amber, and white musk. I absolutely love this scent so freaking much. I highly recommend that you get it, and Sephora has it in all kinds of sizes you can think of. They have this packaging in a lot of different sizes. They have travel sprays. They have a little kit that has a mini one with a travel spray. They also have refills for it. Any type of size you can imagine, you can find this one in, and I highly recommend that you check it out. It is beautiful. And then the other scent I just can't stop using is this one right here. It's around here already, and I've only had it for like maybe a month and a half now. This is the Valentino Born in Roma Intense. First of all, just look at how badass and beautiful that bottle looks. I am obsessed. When I first saw the bottle, I thought maybe it was going to be too strong or too spicy and I wouldn't like it, but I was very, very far from the truth in that assumption. This one is flowery and deep, but it also has this sweetness to it that is incredible. It's definitely one that I prefer for like nighttime because it smells a little bit mysterious. Both of the fragrances I chose say that they are warm florals, but they smell so different from one another. Anyways, this one's notes are vanilla, which definitely is what gives it that sweetness, jasmine, and benzoin. I love jasmine in any fragrance I can find it. And I don't know what benzoin on its own smells like, but it's probably what gives it that deep, mysterious vibe. This one is also available in a bunch of different sizes, and I highly recommend that you check these out. Moving on to skincare, I'm going to once again recommend my favorite moisturizer. I have tried so hard to love something that isn't this because I know that this is expensive, but I just can't find anything that comes close. Okay, so I'm talking of course about my magic cream. I absolutely love this stuff. I've been using a Tula 24/7 intense moisturizer for the past few months that I'm trying to get through, but it is not the same experience. And that one is thick, but it can sometimes be a little bit too thick and it doesn't sink into my skin the way that magic cream does. Magic cream just has this perfect consistency where it gives you all of the hydration that you need. It makes your skin really nice and plump and glowy, and at the same time it kind of sinks right in. It's not a moisturizer that stays surface level, which is the problem that I have with other intense moisturizing products. They kind of stay on top of the skin, and magic cream doesn't, so it just has this perfect texture, and I highly recommend that you get this one during the sale. This has vitamins, it's got peptides, it's got really nice anti-aging products, and it just has this perfect texture, especially if you have normal to dry skin, to give you all of the hydration that you need and be a fantastic moisturizer for underneath your makeup. I highly recommend this one. I was so happy today to finally have an excuse to put it on again. Because like I said, I've been trying to get through my Tula one so that it's not a waste of my money, you know? But nothing feels quite like magic cream. If you have one of the refillable bottles the way I do, then make sure that you stock up on the refills. And if you have not tried magic cream yet, at least get one of the travel sizes of it and just thank me once you try it, because this is the most incredible moisturizer ever, period, the end. For eye cream, I do have a very solid suggestion that I'm very excited about this time around, and it is this magical thing right here. This is the Premier Cru. I don't know how to read French, but it's basically the Premier Cru eye cream from Caudalie. And this product is part of a Caudalie line that they created in collaboration with Harvard. They did a study and they found the most anti-aging products that are backed by science, and they put those ingredients in this line of skincare products from Caudalie. Now, I really wish I could suggest to you the whole line because everything has an incredible texture and all of the products seem to perform really well. The reason I'm not suggesting the whole line is because my sensitive skin cannot do the face creams for some reason. Now, the product that I have been able to use and I absolutely have been loving using is the eye cream right here. This one has this really nice metal applicator so you can massage your under eyes with it. I've been using it morning and night and I absolutely love the texture of it. This one doesn't make my skin sensitive at all whatsoever, and it is incredible. If you're looking for a daily exfoliator, my recommendation has not changed. It is this right here, the 2% BHA liquid exfoliant from Paula's Choice. Put a little bit of this on a cotton round on a daily basis and just swipe it all over the face. And it is a chemical exfoliator, so you don't have to use any harsh scrubs or anything like that. And it'll keep your skin really nice and fresh all of the time. Plus, it's going to also help prevent breakouts. Absolutely love this stuff, and it is a very gentle exfoliator. Plus, it is fragrance free and it works for every single skin type. I also highly recommend that you stock up on your fancy cotton from Shiseido. I would show you, but I need to stock up on mine right now. These are little cotton squares that do not absorb your skincare. That is the main reason I love them, because you can put your toners and essences on those little pads and they'll deposit your toner and essence onto your skin. They won't keep your products trapped in the cotton, and so of course it'll help you get a lot more out of your skincare products that you're using. So highly recommend that you get your hands on some cotton. I definitely have some on my card right now. Back to exfoliating. If you need a more intense daily exfoliator because you're trying to get rid of like things that might be lying under the skin, if you want to lighten some dark spots, if you have some like stubborn blackheads that you need to get rid of or anything like that, I would recommend getting something that is stronger than the Paula's Choice exfoliator. And the product that I suggest for that are the Dr. Dennis Gross peel pads. I really love this product so very much, and every once in a while when I feel like my skin really needs them, I use them daily for a week, and at the end of that week my skin feels completely different every time. They have the regular ones now, they have strong ones, and they have gentle ones. I wouldn't recommend the gentle ones because you might as well just use the Paula's Choice thing. I would recommend you get the regular one or the strong pads. And this is what comes inside the little boxes. So you have step 1 and 2, and what you have in here are basically wet towelettes. So you get towelette number 1, rub it all over the face, wait 2 minutes, get towelette number 2, rub it all over the face, wait 2 minutes, you don't rinse. Just go on with your regular skincare after those 2 minutes, and in a week you will be golden. Absolutely love these, and I try to always have them on hand. So next, let's talk about anti-aging serums, and I have 2 suggestions for you, both of them from Paula's Choice because I love Paula's Choice skincare. I was scared of using retinol on my face for the longest time because I have sensitive skin, and I've always heard that you need to build up your tolerance to retinol. I am happy to report that I'm now using a 1% retinol serum every night and that I have zero sensitivity to it, and I have been loving it. But before we get to this one, the reason I even felt confident enough to go into the 1% retinol serum is this serum right here. So this is like anti-aging for beginners. This is the Paula's Choice 0.3% retinol plus 2% bakuchiol treatment. This product is for all skin types. It also has a little bit of vitamin C in there, and it is what I consider to be an anti-aging serum for beginners. This is not going to make your face red. It's not going to give you any type of sensitivity. Just use it every night. Make sure you're using your sunscreen during the morning time, and you will have no trouble with this one. Plus, like I said, it's nice and anti-aging. It'll make your cells regenerate a little faster, and you'll have younger looking skin for a longer period of time in your life. None of these products work magically overnight. You truly see the difference from using skincare years later. Like, I have seen studies they've done on like twins. One twin takes care of her skin, the other one doesn't, and once they're in like their 40s, you can clearly see the difference in their skin. Anyways, use your skincare. I absolutely love this serum right here, and I fully finished mine. I totally saw a difference on the texture of my skin. I loved it, but I did not go back to it because I felt like after using that one for a long period of time and it having a small percentage of retinol and all of that, I could kind of move up the ladder onto a 1% retinol serum, and so that is what I'm using right now, the 1% retinol treatment. This one also has peptides and vitamin C. It works for all skin types. You apply 1 to 2 pumps to your entire face, and this is the one I've been using every night for the past month and a half or so. I admit that at the beginning I was a little bit scared of it still, so I was using it every other night, but I'm using it every night now. I have no issues at all. I've never had any issues with it, and I love it. Plus, I feel really good that I'm finally using retinol on my skin. So absolutely love this serum, and I have not had any sensitivity to it, so I highly recommend it. For SPF, also Paula's choice, this one right here, the Youth Extending Daily Hydrating Fluid. I put this one on top of my moisturizer always. This has an SPF of 50. I like it because it's very thin, it sinks right into my skin, it doesn't feel heavy underneath my makeup. It doesn't have a white cast at all. I hate sunscreens that have a white cast to them. And honestly, I've just had it for a long time, so I absolutely love this one. I know it works, and my favorite thing is the texture of it, basically. Totally forgot to mention my favorite cleansing skincare products, and they are both from Pharmacy. The Pharmacy Green Clean Makeup Melting Balm. It leaves no residue behind, it washes right off, and it is amazing. And then the Pharmacy Whipped Greens Cleanser, which just has the best lather, and it gives your skin the cleanest feel to it without stripping it of moisture, which is definitely very important for me. Both of these products I have had and suggested for you for years now, and I continue to use them myself, so much so I currently have them in my Sephora cart because I am out. And I have a little duo on my card. I'll put a picture right here, which has a really big Pharmacy Green Clean Makeup Melter, and then it has a travel size of the Whipped Greens Cleanser. I thought this was a really amazing value, so I have it in my cart, and I am waiting for the 14th at midnight to check out. I absolutely love these Pharmacy products, and they are the best at getting your face super clean without stripping your skin of moisture. Highly recommend them. And I am done with the skincare section of this video. I have a handful of what I'm labeling as tools to mention to you, starting with some Sephora collection brushes that I've had in my collection for, I don't know, 6-7 years now, and I absolutely love them. I have not been able to replace them with anything, and sometimes I pop them out and you guys always ask what they are, so here is what they are. These are the 2 Sephora collection brushes everyone needs. Both of mine are limited edition, so they have funky designs to them. They look a little bit different on the Sephora website, but they are the exact same thing. So the first one I recommend is this one right here. This is the Sephora collection number 56 foundation brush, and this is amazing, of course, for foundation, but I rarely ever use it for that. This is amazing for blending out liquid and cream products, and I like the size of it a lot because it gives you a lot of precision when blending out liquid or cream contours or liquid or cream blushes even. You can pat, you can swipe, you can swirl, you can buff with it. It is just fantastic. And remember, all of Sephora collection is 30% off, so everyone gets 30% off of these. The second one I love and highly recommend is this one right here. This is Sephora Collections number 47 brush, and it is the best for applying liquid or cream blushes to the face. It also blends out cream contour and all of that really nicely, but I love just patting on some cream or liquid blush on my face with this one. You can also use it for underneath the eyes for blending out concealer, any type of detail work you might do. This one is great for. I have my BK Beauty 109 brush right here to show you the difference between the two. First of all, the Sephora collection one has a much bigger handle, but second of all, I do think I prefer the Sephora collection one a little bit more because it is a bit more narrow. I know you can barely see the difference, but this is wider. This one's a bit more narrow. So you can be a little bit more detailed with the Sephora collection one in comparison to the BK Beauty one. Density wise, they are pretty similar. The Sephora one might still be just a bit smaller in this sense as well. So honestly, both of these are amazing brushes. If you have this one already, don't buy this one, you don't need both. But if I were to pick between the two, I think the Sephora collection number 47 one has proved itself to me for years now, and I love it. So yes, number 56 and number 47 highly recommend. You guys need the daily brush cleaner. This is your reminder to stock up on your brush cleaner right here. This is the brush cleaner that I use on a daily basis to clean all of my brushes, especially my eye brushes. I always use my eye brushes clean. I like to go into a palette with a clean brush so that I know exactly what I'm grabbing. And this is amazing for my Refer brushes, which are natural hair, because it is not stripping. A lot of daily brush cleaners have a lot of alcohol in them that strip your natural brushes of moisture, and this one might not clean as fast as those. I'll admit that. It doesn't clean as fast as those. It does the job, maybe not as well, but most importantly for me, it doesn't strip my natural hair brushes of oils. It keeps them nice and conditioned, and they'll last you forever like that. Make sure you're not using drying brush cleaners on your natural hair brushes because they will fall apart. Anyways, love this one. It's definitely safe to use on your natural hair brushes. Make sure you stock up on it. And if you've never heard of a daily brush cleaner before, you basically spray this on a paper towel, rub your dirty brush on what you sprayed, and all of the makeup is coming off of the brush, and the brush is instantly dry and ready to be used again. Honestly, just an amazing product to always have on hand. I cannot live without it, and I need to restock on mine as well. Last but certainly not least, I get a lot of questions about Presson Nails, and I love two brands for Presson Nails. Kiss, which is the more affordable option and what I'm wearing right now. But the ones that I love most are Glamnetics Presson Nails, which are now available at Sephora, and you can get them with a discount during the sale. Here's what the Glamnetic ones look like, and I love the Glamnetic ones more than Kiss because I find them to be more reliable, a bit more sturdy, better quality, thicker nail. They last longer on. The glue that they have is better. It's overall better than the Kiss ones, but the Kiss ones are cheaper, you know? So now that you can get them with a discount, highly recommend that you try out some Presson Nails if you've been interested. And like I said, my favorite brand I've ever tried of Pressons is Glamnetic. So if you can get them at Sephora with a discount, then you're winning, right? That was the last product under my tools category, and we're finally moving on to the makeup products, which is what I know you guys are most excited about. Remember, I did upload a video yesterday with my top 10 most recommended palettes you can get at Sephora during the sale. So when you finish with this video, check that one out if you haven't already, and let's get started with the makeup. I love to talk about makeup in the order in which I do things, and the first thing I always do is my eyebrows. So first things first, if you like the way my eyebrows are like nice and feathery and full like that, you need the Anastasia brow gel, which is called the Brow Freeze. This is my maybe 5th one I've had now, and I absolutely love this product with a passion. This is the strongest brow gel. My eyebrows are super thick and they grow pointing down, and this one lifts them up with ease. I do love to use it with the Anastasia brow brush that they sell for it, because this part of the brush right here has really strong bristles, and majority of other spoolies are softer, and my eyebrows at least need the harder bristles of this one. So highly recommend that you try both of these products if you haven't already. Keep in mind, I clean my spoolie every time I use it, because you definitely don't want the dry white gel to get into your brows the next day. Make sure your spoolie is clean so that you're getting the clear product and it's going on clear onto your brows. Also, only fiddle with your eyebrows while the gel is still wet. Once it dries, do not touch them. I have two eyebrow pencils to suggest to you. I absolutely love the one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Brow Sheet, and this one has a bit of a wedge kind of pointed tip. Let's see if the camera wants to focus. Yeah, you can see it right there. So it's not the thinnest brow pencil, although it's pretty thin still in my opinion, and it does have a lot of pigment. It goes onto the brow really easily. Even on top of your brow gel, it doesn't really have any issues with pigmentation. It has amazing pigmentation and it goes on very easily. My favorite thing about this one is that you spend $25 the first time you grab it, but then the refills are only $15. So for a high-end eyebrow pencil, it's a lot cheaper to kind of maintain than the rest of them, because this is all you need after the first time you purchase it, and you will have your high-end very pigmented brow pencil for only $15 once you start getting the refills. So love this one. Now if you are not sure about the tip of it and you want the traditionally thin tip that eyebrow pencils have, then my other suggestion is the Precisely My Brow Pencil, which as you can see has just kind of the regular thin tip that eyebrow pencils normally have. Here's the difference. This is the Charlotte one and this is the Benefit one. Honestly, both of them really nice and pigmented. This one also doesn't have any trouble drawing on top of the eyebrow gel. I love it. I highly recommend it. Last but not least, I do absolutely love using brow pens, and I use them on top of pencils. So I'll fill my entire brow with the pencil, and then on the back half of my eyebrow, things usually look a little lighter because I just don't have as much hair. back there. So I go in with a brow pen at the end of my brow just to finish filling in any gaps and intensifying the color on the back half of my brow to match the front half of my brow, which is very hairy. So love this one as well, and this pen is my favorite that Sephora carries. Moving on to primers, I do have one eyeshadow primer that I love that I want to suggest to you, and that is this one right here. This is the Rare Beauty eyeshadow primer. I actually need to restock on this one as well. I have one in the cart right now. This one gives you a little bit of coverage to the eyelid area. It makes the eyeshadows blend beautifully on top. It is not drying, but also not overly hydrating for the eyelid. The eyeshadow stays in place all day, no creasing, and I really like that it gives you this nice light base for you to start building your shadows on. So love, love, love this Rare Beauty eyeshadow primer right here, and it is my only eye primer suggestion. Now, when it comes to face primers, I have a few favorites. Number one, this one right here. This is the Tatcha, the liquid silk canvas. This is perfection if you have normal to dry skin. They do have one that is a balm that works better for oily. My favorite thing about this primer is that it covers your pores beautifully, and then on top of looking really beautiful on the pores, it has this texture to it that doesn't get dry, doesn't get oily. It looks natural all day, and it makes your makeup last forever. So this I highly recommend. It's been a favorite of mine for forever. Or at least since it first came out. Another primer that I have absolutely loved ever since it came out is this right here. This is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Balm. I have mine in the shade 3. They do have a clear one of these, but then they also have the ones that have color to them. I prefer this one in number 3, which has a color, and this is amazing at helping me hide my redness and at making my pores look smaller. The trick to this one, at least for me, is to put it on top of very hydrated skin. I put it on after my moisturizer. I use a thick moisturizer for the most part because I want my skin to be very hydrated, and this is technically a mattifying product. So I put it on top of very hydrated skin. I use very little of it. I work it into my skin until I get to the coverage that I want. This is not just an amazing primer for underneath makeup. I'm actually wearing it right now, but also works amazingly for days where you want to look a little bit more put together, maybe hide your redness if you're like me and you have redness on your face, but you don't want to go full B. You don't need to do your whole entire face. This right here is perfect for that because it gives me enough coverage that it covers my redness, my insecurities, if you will, but it still looks just like skin. It looks very, very natural, and my pores look nice and smooth as well. Last but not least, I have the most hydrating primer I have ever found to suggest to you. I have been really liking this one. This is the Rich Bitch Primer from Freck Beauty. This is the perfect primer for you if no matter what you do, your foundation looks dry on your skin. If you have that issue, I promise you, you need to try this primer. Or if there's any foundation that maybe isn't for dry skin, but you want to make it work for your dry skin, this is the primer that you need right here. For example, the Gucci foundation that just launched this year looked a little bit dry on me. I put this underneath it. Problem fixed. The KVD Beauty foundation looked okay on me, but I wanted it to look better from the get-go because at first it was a bit dry. I put this underneath it, and from the beginning it looks beautiful on me now because this is the most hydrating, slimy thing ever. It is wonderful. Again, if you have any of the issues I mentioned, this is what you need, and I highly recommend it. Moving on to foundation, which is another category in which I can never narrow down my products. The first suggestion I have for you is a skin tint. This is the Too Faced Born This Way Healthy Glow SPF 30 skin tint, and I love this thing so much. It is perfection on my skin. It has a natural finish, a medium buildable coverage, a super thin texture. It has SPF, and the color porcelain matches my skin as if it was meant for me. I personally really love skin tints and products that have a very light weight to them, especially come the summertime. So I know I'm going to be using the heck out of this one this summer. This is perfect for days where you want your natural skin texture to still show through. You want to still see your freckles. You don't need that intense full coverage, but you still want things like redness to be corrected, and you want to look nice and even all over. And like I said, it has a natural finish to it, which I find perfect because it's not going to make me look super oily, but it also does not dry me out. The moment I tried this one, I knew that I would love it, and then I compared it to the Rare Beauty skin tint afterwards, and this one is a bit longer lasting. So if you're looking for a good skin tint, this is the one I would suggest. I try not to suggest too many Pat McGrath products for the Sephora sale because Pat McGrath has better sales on her website, and I tell you guys this all the time. Some of you have expressed to me though that you don't like shopping from the Pat McGrath website, which I understand. I honestly have not had an issue with it for a very long time. Just know that whenever I suggest Pat McGrath products in this video, you can always get them with a better discount on the Pat McGrath website. Anyways, one of my favorite foundations ever since it came out is the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Foundation. This is what it looks like here. I have mine in the shade LM9. That is my summer shade, but I use it year round, who cares? And this foundation is amazing because it has a really beautiful medium buildable coverage, and it has the thinnest texture to it with a stunning natural finish. This looks beautiful, it looks natural, and it truly makes my skin look flawless. So I highly recommend this one. Another foundation you can buy from the Sephora sale that I have been absolutely loving is this one right here. This is the Tint Idol Ultra Wear Clear and Glow Foundation. This is Lancome's hydrating foundation. It is the one that I am wearing today. As you can see, it looks natural on the face, but out of all of the foundations I'm going to be mentioning today, this is the one that has the most coverage. I wouldn't say it's a full coverage, but it is medium buildable to pretty full, we'll say. It has a beautiful creamy texture, it has a natural finish to it. It's not a super thin foundation like the rest of the ones I'm suggesting. This one has more of a creamy consistency, and honestly I absolutely love it and I highly recommend it. Another foundation I really love is this one from Armani. This is the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. This foundation has been a favorite amongst a lot of people for years, and it is for a reason. It is an amazing foundation. It has a natural finish, a thin formula. This one is not as thin as Pat McGrath and not as glowy as Pat McGrath, but it looks really nice and natural on the skin, and it is not as creamy as the Lancome one. This one is a bit creamier. Anyways, this is another foundation that works wonders for me and I highly recommend it. And then last but not least, if you're looking for a powder foundation, I recently fell in love with this one from Makeup Forever. Know that this is a full coverage powder foundation. This is not a foundation to like touch up with. If you do touch up with it, it has to be like in specific areas where you don't have bronzer or blush or anything like that, because if you were to put this on top of blush or bronzer, it's going to take it away basically. My favorite way of using it is after moisturizing and priming my face. I like to actually use it with this little sponge applicator that it has, and I like to just pat it all over my face with it, and it gives the best coverage, the most smooth look to the face. It makes your pores disappear. Try not to overdo this one. It's definitely better to build it up than to have to blend it down. But anyways, this one was great. It makes your pores look flawless, and I highly recommend it. Moving on to under eye products. If you have dark circles like me, you need a color corrector. My favorite one is this one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Color Corrector in medium. I love the medium one because it matches the tone of my under eyes better than the light one, because I do have pretty dark circles underneath my eyes. This one instantly takes away any purpley hues from my under eye area and it brightens everything. And then I always follow it up with a concealer product. Now, if you've ever watched my concealer reviews in the past, for the most part, I am a concealer hater. I have lines underneath my eyes, everything creases on me, everything looks dry on me, everything's too thick. So I'm about to recommend to you what I consider to be the best of the best when it comes to concealers, especially if you have dry textured under eyes. My number one recommendation, and I know that this is pricey, but this is what has worked best for me for years, is this right here. This is the Touche Eclat High Cover Concealer from YSL. This is a pen applicator. Make sure that you get the one that has the black stripe on the side, because there is another one that looks very similar and it doesn't have any coverage. So make sure it's the one with the black stripe that says Full Cover Concealer. Anyways, you apply this one underneath the eyes. I like to just kind of feather it on and then blend it in with my sponge. and this is super thin. Even though it's called the full cover concealer, I would say it has a medium buildable coverage to it, which is why I like to put it on top of my color corrector. Anyways, this has a naturally radiant finish for the under eye area. It brightens everything up, and it has such a nice thin formula that it makes the texture underneath the eyes look very nice and natural. Plus, once you set it with a bit of translucent powder, it doesn't crease because the product is so thin. Love this one, highly recommended. My other recommendation, I discovered this one last year and I really like it as well, is the Power Fabric Concealer from Armani. The difference between this one and the previous one is that this one has a bit more of a creamy formula. It has more of a natural finish rather than a naturally radiant finish, and it is not as thin as the YSL one. However, it does have a bit more coverage. I find that it looks beautiful underneath my eyes. It blends like a dream. I don't have a lot of trouble with this one creasing either, and it doesn't make my under eyes look dry. Let's talk powders, and I narrowed down powders really nicely. I only have 2 to suggest to you. I have the Laura Mercier Rose Tone Up Setting Powder. Make sure it says all of those words in the title. It has a pink cap. It says Tone Up Rose Setting Powder, not to be confused with any other Laura Mercier powder, because I have tried a lot of other ones and I don't like any of them as much as I like this one. This is a brightening powder. It has a bit of a pink hue to it, and it has the greatest texture of all time. I can use this one in my entire face. I love to use it to make my pores look more blurred. I love to use it in the center of my forehead, and I can even use this one underneath my eyes, no problems at all. Absolutely love this thing. You get a ton of product in there. It's going to last you forever. Highly recommend. If you have dry skin, don't be afraid of this one. You are going to love it. I do always like to apply it with a brush, and I usually shake off the powder before I go on with the brush so that I don't over apply it, but other than that, you are going to be golden. And then my second powder suggestion is the under eye powder from Pat McGrath. This has been a favorite of mine forever. Whenever I put this on, my concealers don't crease, and I also use it sparingly with a very soft fluffy brush. Get yourself a soft fluffy brush, don't over apply it, and make sure you are pressing it into your under eye area, and you are absolutely going to love this product as well. Let's talk about bronzers, and the first bronzer I'm going to suggest you get during the Sephora sale is this one right here. This is my Gucci Powder Debute. I have mine in the shade 02, which I actually really like because it has a really nice, beautiful cool tone to it. I try to use it sparingly. I blend it a lot on my face because it is a bit dark as you can see, but it does have a natural to glowy finish to it, and I love the way it sculpts my face while bronzing it all at the same time, so love this one. It's definitely on the pricier side, so I would take advantage of the discount for a product like this. Charlotte Tilbury never ever goes on sale, and one of my favorite bronzing sculpting products ever is this one right here. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand. I love blending this one out with a brush rather than a sponge because it is a liquid product. I find that sometimes the sponge can soak it up and I have to like apply a lot more, and then it doesn't look the best like that. But if you use just a few dots and you blend it out with a brush, you are going to have a beautiful result every time you use this one. I love this product. I have for the longest time. I would certainly love it if Charlotte finally gave us more shades of it, and definitely expand on the darker side so that everyone can enjoy the magic of the contour one. But anyways, I absolutely love this one here, and I have mine in the shade light medium. And then the last bronzing product I'm recommending is a cream bronzing stick, and it is this one right here from Rare Beauty. I have mine in the shade Happy Soul. She does have a couple more new shades that I have not tried yet, but Happy Soul has worked for me ever since this product came out, and it gives me this really nice beachy bronzy vibe without looking too yellow or orange on my very neutral to cool toned skin tone. So highly recommend this one. It's not a sculpting product, it's not a cool tone product. If you want to sculpt, go for the Charlotte Tilbury one. This one is just a bronzer, but it is a really good shade of bronzer. Not too yellow, not orange at all. Just a fantastic product. It blends out very easily. You can blend it out with a sponge or a brush, and it gives you a very natural bronzy look. For blushes, I have new suggestions also from Charlotte Tilbury. Both of these right here are amazing. I'm actually wearing this one right now, the Peach Pop, but I honestly love both of these shades. I love blending this out with a brush as well so that the product stays nice and pigmented on the skin. And the only thing I'm upset about is that I was waiting for the Sephora sale because I want to add one more to my collection of these. I want to get the shade Pillow Talk, and I realized yesterday that the Pillow Talk shade is not on the Sephora website. I have to order it from Charlotte Tilbury, so I cannot get it on sale, unfortunately. I'm pissed. But if you don't have any of them, I do highly recommend Pink Pop and Peach Pop. Peach Pop being my favorite. Just like with the Gucci bronzer, the Sephora sale is also a really good opportunity for the Gucci blushes. I have mine in Silky Rose and Bright Coral. Absolutely love both of these shades. I'm actually wearing a little bit of Bright Coral on top of my Charlotte Tilbury Peach Pop today, just because I wanted to add as many products as possible to my face to like show you. But anyways, both of these products are amazing, natural looking, long lasting. They have this really stunning buildable formula where you don't have to be scared of doing too much at once. And the finish of these powders on your skin is perfection. They look like silk on your cheeks, just beautiful. Not to mention, out of all of my blushes, I feel like these are the winners packaging wise. Super luxe and detailed and weighted. They just feel fancy, you know? A new blush I would suggest that you get your hands on to try is the Haus Labs blush. I have mine in the shade Pomelo Peach because a lot of the other shades are too dark or too bright for me, but this one was perfection. Now the best thing about this blush is definitely the texture of it. This is another blush that looks like silk on the face. It has this beautiful natural finish. It is blurring. It builds up really nicely. It blends out beautifully. You get a ton of product in here, and the packaging is really nice. So if you haven't tried the new Haus Labs blush formula, highly recommend that you do so. I really hope this does well for the Haus Labs brand so that they expand the shade range, because I would love more light shades like this, because truly the very basic lighter shades are the ones that I end up loving most. Lastly, the shade Pillow Talk from the Charlotte Tilbury powder blushes has been my favorite one for a very long time. This is the perfect blush for those of you who don't want your blush to look too girly. Like if you don't want your blush to be too pink or too peach or too loud, you just want something that is nice and neutral but that it still gives you a bit of color to your cheeks. The Pillow Talk blush from Charlotte Tilbury is perfect for that. It has the most natural looking color to it. It has this really pretty radiance. See how it's not even as bright as what I'm wearing? It's just a bit more cool toned, a bit more natural looking, yet it still gives the skin a really beautiful color. Absolutely love this one. Highly recommended. This has been a favorite one of mine, and I still reach for it all the time because I love that like no blush look, you know? I have had major beef with highlighter as of lately, so I only have 2 highlighters to suggest to you for the Sephora sale, because these are the only ones that I still see myself reaching for all the time. One of them is this right here from Charlotte Tilbury, the highlighter in the shade Pillow Talk specifically. This one is my favorite color. It's the one I'm wearing on this side of my face. I find that this being a liquid highlighter looks very natural and it doesn't enhance the texture on my cheeks. Plus it blends beautifully into any blush or bronzer that I might have put on my cheeks underneath it, and I absolutely love it. My favorite way to apply it is with the applicator onto the cheek, but like not adding too much product, and then blending it out with my finger, and it works wonders. It looks beautiful and natural and shiny, but not in a very loud, obnoxious, powdery, textured way, you know? Just fantastic. And then the other highlighter that has won my heart is the new Rare Beauty highlighter. Hopefully this one's in stock because it's been sold out for a very long time. This highlighter, con number 1 is you have to be super delicate with it because it breaks by just looking at it. For a powder highlighter, this one is so freaking thin. The texture of it is so incredible that I truly find it not to enhance my texture. I have it on this side of my face right here. I feel like this highlighter just melts beautifully into the skin while still being a highlighter that shows up really nicely. So this one is not as natural as this one. This one definitely shows up a little bit more, but I don't find that it enhances my texture that much, so I love it. Let's talk eyeliners, and I recently fell in love with this liquid liner formula from Urban Decay. This has the best grip to it. Like the way this just falls on your finger is incredible. Like you just pinch this pencil in the perfect way and it gives you so much control over what you're doing on your eyes. Absolutely love it. This is a fantastic product. It has a brush tip applicator, not a felt tip, so you can get really precise, very thin lines with it, but it's still a very pigmented product, as you can see right there. I highly recommend this one. This one has the best design when it comes to it being very stable in your hand for a lot of precision, plus it's nice and pigmented, and they do have a ton of different shades too. I got the black one because I'm basic and I wasn't sure if I was going to use any of the other shades, but they have white and green and blue and brown, and all of them swatched so beautifully on the back of my hand when I went to the store. I loved them. And then the other eyeliners you need is pencil eyeliners, which I love to use for my waterline. Every time I do my eyes, I put an eyeliner in my waterline. I feel like that really completes the look. In some cases, it makes the eye look a bit more interesting, and so I highly suggest that you get yourself some eyeliners for your waterline. I have some of my favorite formulas here that are sold at Sephora. I'm going to start with the Glossier #1 eyeliner pencil, which you can now find at Sephora, and the reason I'm starting with this one is because, as you can see, they have a ton of really beautiful different shades. Shades like blue, brown, and green are definitely obviously must-haves, and it's very easy to know where you would need these. Like if you do a blue eyeshadow look, get the blue one, same thing with green. And if you have one pencil eyeliner for your waterline and you can only have one forever, I would get a brown one because that just matches with anything. If you have black eyeshadow, brown matches, brown eyeshadow, brown matches, green, blue, pink, it doesn't matter, brown will always match. So I highly recommend that one. Now the very special ones are the lighter shades. This purple one is the one that I have used the most. It's the one that is the shortest out of all of mine, because every time I do any type of like purple eyeliner, I use this one. I absolutely love this sage green one because it opens up your eye being a nice light shade. This color is stunning. And then one that I recently fell in love with is this yellow shade right here, because I wasn't sure what to use it with, but the other day I did a brown smoky eye with gold sparkles in the center, and then I put this one in my waterline and it played so well with the like yellow gold sparkles on my eyelids. It looked incredible. If you want a burgundy eyeliner, that's another shade that I use a lot. Get the Pillow Talk one from Charlotte Tilbury. This right here is an incredible shade, and I have also shortened mine quite a bit by sharpening it because I also never stop using it. And then last but not least, the Sephora collection, which you can get 30% off, has some really interesting colors in their ultimate gel liners. I recently got this bright green one right here, but I believe that they also have like baby blue and baby pink, which are colors that I would totally suggest having. I really love doing eye looks, and one of my favorite steps in doing any eye look is finishing it up with a colored eyeliner, so I can never have too many of these. And if you are an eyeshadow fanatic like I am and you love creating different eye looks, I highly recommend that you get yourself at least 3 to 4 different colored eyeliners because they truly make your eye looks so much more interesting. For setting sprays, look no further than the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This stuff keeps your makeup lasting forever, and it is an alcohol-free product, so if you have dry or sensitive skin like I do, it's not going to dry you out, which I believe to be essential, obviously. So highly recommend this one. I have no other suggestion to you than this Charlotte Tilbury setting spray because it's honestly the best. Plus it has a really nice sprayer to it as well, so you can get it very evenly coated, I guess you would say, on your face. Love this stuff. And I actually saw that Sephora just launched a little bundle that has this, and it has a brow freeze in it, and then it has a bunch of other products that are pretty great as well. I'm going to put a picture right here just for both of these products in it. I would say that that kit is definitely worth it. Add to that the fact that you get a Natasha Denona blush and highlighter duo. I'm definitely going to have this listed and linked down below in the description box because this is a great product product to buy. And not only do you get those 3 products, which I highly recommend, that are incredible, but there's also other knickknacks in there for you that basically you get for free because you're paying for the whole thing. Anyways, I just thought that was a great deal because I love the products that are in there, so I recommend that as well. Moving on to mascara, my 2 favorite mascaras that Sephora has are number 1, the Pat McGrath Dark Star Mascara. This one has a beautiful hourglass applicator. It gives me amazing length, amazing volume, and a lot of separation to my lashes. And then number 2, the YSL Lash Clash Mascara right here. This one has a different wand type. It's nice and thick, but it's more like pointed. This is the mascara that I've been wearing this whole entire video. I put it on today for you so I could show you because I absolutely love this one, and I find that it doesn't transfer easily. So these 2 are my absolute fave, most recommended mascaras at Sephora. We only have lip products to go, and I am keeping the lip products just very true to myself and to what I am wearing. If you guys follow my channel, you know that I'm always wearing a nude lipstick, so that's exactly what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you all of my favorite nude products: lip liners, glosses, and lipsticks. Starting with lip liners, these right here are my favorite lip liners. As you can see, some of them are very short because I love them. I have found that I like pencil lip liners that you have to sharpen better than the ones that you have to twist up. From Charlotte Tilbury, this is the one I've had for the longest. It's so teeny tiny. Iconic Nude. You guys need Iconic Nude from Charlotte Tilbury. It's the perfect nude shade. It's not too pinky or peachy, but it still has a hint of rose to it, and it's just a really wonderful neutral meaty brown type of a shade. I love it. Next favorite, which I've also used and abused, the Natasha Denona lip liner in the shade Natasha. This one is so freaking creamy, and it is the one that I've been wearing this entire video. Check it out right down here. As you can see, they are kind of similar to one another. This one's more pigmented, so it's not as natural looking as that one. Like this one I can put on, it look like I'm not wearing anything. With this one you can tell I'm wearing something, but it looks very beautiful and natural, as you can see right here. Also from Natasha Denona, I love the shade Eyeliners, which is a more cool-toned type of a shade, a bit more taupey, if you will. See, check it out right down here. It's also a bit of a darker shade for sure. And then from Anastasia, these right here have been my latest obsession. I love the shade Muted Mauve. I know they all look super similar, but I am keeping it real. These are simply the shades that I like to reach for, okay? So Muted Mauve right down here, as you can see, this one is more of a matte shade. The Natasha Denona ones have a bit of shine to them. This one from Anastasia doesn't have any shine, it's more of a matte color. And then last but not least, the only one that is actually going to be a little bit different is the shade Rosewood from Anastasia. See, check it out right here. It still looks nice and natural. It is a neutral shade, but it just has a bit more red in the formula. And so whenever I want to use something that is a bit different, but it's still within my comfort zone, Rosewood is what I've been reaching for. As far as lip glosses are concerned, let me show you the ones I've been loving the most, starting with the Natasha Denona Natasha gloss, because I'm obsessed with this one. It just has the most natural look to it. Matches perfectly with the Natasha lip liner, which I absolutely love. So check it out. That is this one right here. And then from Anastasia, these two here are pretty great for a bit of a lighter look. I love the shade Soft Pink. This one has more of that Barbie pinky vibe. And then the other shade I really love for a more taupey look is this one called Deep Taupe, which is the darkest one, and you can see it right down here. These Anastasia glosses are amazing. They have an incredible formula. They are pretty long lasting for a gloss, and most importantly for a long lasting lip gloss, they're not sticky. If you haven't yet tried the Juicy Lips from Tarte, highly recommend these. I put these the other day in the video where I was talking about the first thing I would buy if I didn't have any makeup at all, and it's because this is a perfect combination of all things that I like for a lip product. It has a bit of color to it, it's nice and glossy, and it feels like a lip balm. So I could wear it on a daily basis, or I could wear it with a lip liner to like do it up a bit, or on top of a lipstick to just make it a bit glossy. It's a fantastic product. This one I'm showing you is in the shade Cherry Blossom, and I personally feel like I need to add more of these to my collection because I truly love them. See how they look just like a gloss, but once you have them on the lips, they feel like you're just wearing a lip balm. Just an incredible product, honestly, I love it. Before I go into lipsticks, I want to talk about a product that is in a category of its own. This is a recent discovery for me, and I've been using it every day since I discovered it. And it is this right here from YSL. This is the YSL Candy Glaze, and I have mine in the clear shade. I just put on some more stuff, but this is what I was wearing from the beginning of the video. And the reason I love this is because this is a clear product. See, fully clear. It feels like a lip balm, but as you can see, it looks like a gloss. And the way YSL defined it is gloss in a stick. That's what they're calling it. My favorite thing about this is that I can combine it with any lip liner I love and basically create a glossy lipstick with it. Let me demonstrate. For example, I took my lipstick off, and this is my Rosewood lip liner from Anastasia, and I am blending it in just a little bit on the corners. And now I'm just going to go with my little balmy gloss thing from YSL right on top. And just like that, I have this really beautiful lip look. It totally looks like I'm wearing a lipstick, but it's just lip liner and a clear gloss mixed together, and I find that it looks absolutely fabulous. Plus it feels like I'm just wearing a lip balm, so it's a win-win situation in all aspects. And this is pretty long lasting too. It doesn't go away that easily. Anyways, my point is, I feel like this YSL gloss in a stick situation that they came out with is an absolute must-have. I love it. Last but not least, let's talk about lipsticks that I love. This right here, what I've shown you so far, has been my vibe as of lately, but I do have some favorite lipsticks that I want to share with you in case you guys are interested. From Charlotte Tilbury, I love the shade Supermodel. This is spectacular. It gives you really nice color. It has a hint of rose, but it still looks really nice and neutral. If you're getting a Pillow Talk lipstick, I don't recommend the regular one. I would recommend the Pillow Talk Balm thing because it's a bit shinier and it looks so beautiful on the lips. And if you want the nudest of nude lipsticks from Charlotte, JK Magic is my absolute favorite color. It's such a pretty light nude with a hint of peach, matches beautifully with any of the lip liners I showed you. Really love this one. From Pat McGrath, I have been obsessed with Nude Romantique 2, which is this shade right down here. Absolutely love this one. It's nice and shiny, looks nice and thin and natural on the lips. Very, very comfortable to wear. From Rare Beauty, I love the shade Worthy. It's like a mid-tone nudie brown type of a shade. Just lovely. If you want a more nude pinky shade for your lips, Natasha Denona in the shade Amorosa. This one here is lovely. And last but not least, Natasha from Natasha Denona, which is the perfect match for the lip liner and gloss I showed you earlier. I absolutely love this shade with a passion. It is just so good. So just take a look right there at all of my favorite lipsticks. I know, kind of close to one another, but like I said, I'm keeping it real. These are just the colors that I love to wear the most. I know this video was long, so if you watched it all the way to the end, secretly let me know down in the comment section by leaving me the emoji with the heart for eyes, this one right here. Leave it for me in the comments down below and I will know you watched all the way to the end, which I so greatly appreciate. Don't forget, when adding things to your Sephora cart, to please do so using the links I'm leaving you down below in the description box. And that is finally all I have for today's video. If you want to see which palettes are my most suggested for the Sephora sale, don't forget to check out this video that I uploaded yesterday. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all of your support and I hope to see you back in tomorrow's video. Bye.